Welcome to Canada. It is the year 1980. You are in a landscape of peaceful neighborhoods populated by families optimistic about the future. Back then, the average Canadian home would set you back $76,000, with the median family income around $25,000. Houses were an achievable part of the Canadian dream. Now let's flash forward to today. The Canadian dream has become more of an illusion today. Average house prices have catapulted to a staggering $700,000. Median income, a mere $59,300. So how did this nation get here? Why today 3 out of 4 Canadians cannot afford to buy a home? Let's peel back the layers and find out. Our journey into understanding the roots of Canada's housing crisis begins with a simple concept: supply and demand. Imagine a marketplace. Only this time, instead of fresh fruits and artisan bread, the stalls are filled with homes. Demand has been skyrocketing, the cities bursting at the seams. In the last 40 years, the urban population in Canada swelled by almost 50%. But the sellers, they are lagging behind. So with more buyers than homes, prices have surged. Just to paint a picture, between 2000 and 2023, house prices in Toronto and Vancouver have not just climbed, they have increased 6 to 7 times. We have seen a surge of at least 600% in prices. The dream of owning a home, it is becoming as elusive as a winning lottery ticket. But the increased demand and decreased supply are not the only ones to be blamed here. Currently, Canada has high interest rates. You might assume this would cool the market down a bit, right? Higher interest rates should mean fewer buyers, less competition, and hopefully, more stable house prices. Yet here's the paradox. Even with the government hiking interest rates, which has lowered the prices slightly compared to last year, Canadian homes remain frustratingly out of reach for many. Why so? Several factors are at play. High living costs, stagnant wages, and inflation are all contributing to a perfect storm that is keeping Canadians from their dream of homeownership. Canada's high interest rates have put a dent in the roaring housing market, yes, but they have also moved the goalposts for potential home buyers. A report by RateHub revealed that in 2023, if you want to afford a home in Canada, you need to earn significantly more than you did just a year ago. We are talking about up to an additional $25,500 a year. In Vancouver, already infamous for its high prices, the average income required to buy a home has shot up to a hopping $212,800. Meanwhile, in Toronto, you need around $207,000, which is an increase of $7,620 from last year. But there is a silver lining in Hamilton. Here, the average income needed to buy a home has dropped by $4,350, thanks to a reduction in average home prices. But in other big Canadian cities, the situation is worsening with every passing day. And in all this chaos, we have another factor pulling the strings on house prices. We are talking about immigration. In 1998, 174,000 immigrants landed in Canada. Compared to this number, Canada, in all its multicultural glory, welcomed over 437,180 immigrants in 2022 alone. But guess where do they live when they arrive? Well, they enter the housing marketplace we talked about. The result? Even more competition. You might think we have reached the end of the line, that we have explored all the forces pushing up the prices of Canadian homes. But no, there is one other factor in play here. That is slow construction. This is not a minor issue. With the shortage of skilled workers, construction projects are delayed, further slowing down the supply of new homes. And as demand continues to outstrip supply, the cost of housing keeps creeping higher and higher. Through this complex intertwining of supply and demand, low interest rates, immigration, and foreign investment, Canada's housing market has evolved into a labyrinth. It's a maze where the exit, affordable homeownership, seems to be moving further and further away from most Canadians. So what could be done in this situation? How can the Canadian government get out of this housing crisis? It all circles back to our marketplace analogy. We need to balance the scales. Increase the supply to meet the demand. How? By developing more, faster, and smarter. Canada has to begin by making more land available for development, then fast-track the approval processes that often keep projects in bureaucratic limbo for years. The quicker they build, the sooner homes enter the market. It is estimated that if Canada wants to come out of this housing crisis, it needs to build 5.8 million new homes by 2030. And then there is the role of zoning laws and development charges. These are the invisible strings controlling what can be built where. Most city land is zoned exclusively for single-family detached housing, limiting opportunities for diverse, affordable housing options. The solution? Revise, rethink, re-implement. We need to challenge and change these zoning laws to accommodate a housing market that reflects the reality of the population it serves. Now, to tip the scales toward fairness, we need to tackle the big players. Believe it or not, around 30 to 40% of the total house owners in various provinces last year are those who own multiple houses already. This locks out many first-time buyers, the ones yearning to turn a key in their very own front door. The provincial and municipal governments can learn from international success stories. Look at Singapore. They have implemented reforms that curb profits from multi-home purchases and increase taxes for repeat buyers. What does this mean for Canada? It means creating a level playing field, tamping down investor-led demand, and opening up opportunities for the average Canadian to step onto the property ladder. All in all, in a nation gripped by the housing crisis, there is still hope. By embracing collective action and bold reforms, we can pave the way toward a future where affordable homeownership becomes a reality for all Canadians. Now it's your turn to share your opinions. What do you think could be done to navigate Canada's housing crisis? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video.